The UN Commission once again issues a grim warning about the human cost of the conflict in Gaza. The situation has reached a critical point, and the international community can no longer afford to turn a blind eye. The ongoing violence has left a trail of devastation that is impossible to ignore. Since the beginning of the Israeli strikes in response to the tragic October 7th, the scale of destruction has been unprecedented. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, and the infrastructure that once supported daily life has been obliterated. The airstrikes have not only targeted military installations, but have also caused significant collateral damage, affecting schools, hospitals, and homes. More than 13,000 Palestinian children have lost their lives. These are not just numbers. They represent young lives cut short, dreams shattered, and families torn apart. The psychological impact on the surviving children is immeasurable, as they grapple with the loss of siblings, friends, and a sense of security. The trauma inflicted on these young minds will have long-lasting effects, potentially shaping their futures in ways we can scarcely imagine. Sidoti of the Commission declared, "Children are not terrorists." His words resonate deeply, highlighting the innocence of the youngest victims of this conflict. These children are caught in a war they did not start and cannot understand. They are the most vulnerable, yet they bear the brunt of the violence. Sidoti warned about the potential of this situation to create a veritable factory of terrorism in the coming decades. When children grow up surrounded by violence and loss, the seeds of future conflict are sown. The international community must recognize the urgency of addressing the root causes of this violence to prevent a cycle of retribution and hatred from perpetuating. Navi Pillay reinforces that the international community needs to act and reevaluate its military and political support. She emphasizes that the current approach is not only ineffective, but also exacerbates the suffering of innocent civilians. The world must come together to find a peaceful resolution that prioritizes human rights and the well-being of all affected populations. It is crucial to differentiate between occupier and occupied, said Pillay. This distinction is essential for understanding the dynamics of the conflict and for crafting policies that address the underlying issues. The international community must hold accountable those who perpetuate the occupation and ensure that the rights of the occupied are protected. Pillay demands a firm stance to break the cycle of violence. She calls for a comprehensive approach that includes diplomatic efforts, humanitarian aid, and support for grassroots peace initiatives. The goal is to create an environment where dialogue and reconciliation can flourish, paving the way for a sustainable peace. And you, how do you see the future of these children? This question is not just rhetorical, it challenges each of us to consider our role in shaping their destinies. Will we stand by and watch as another generation is lost to conflict? Or will we take action to ensure they have the opportunity to thrive? Will they be the next victims or leaders of change? The answer depends on the choices we make today. By investing in education, mental health support, and community-building initiatives, we can empower these children to become agents of change. They have the potential to break the cycle of violence and build a future based on peace and mutual understanding. The world is watching, but is it ready to act? The time for complacency is over. The international community must come together to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza with urgency and compassion. This is not just a regional issue, it is a global responsibility. The actions we take now will determine the future of countless lives and the stability of the region for generations to come. Yo.